Hola, Timothy Phoenix here, and welcome to my blog, which is all about rising from the flames of adversity to create your dream life using the law of attraction. Today, what are you laughing at?
I'm just smiling.
Today, I've got another really special guest. This is lovely Sarah, and well, why don't you tell the lovely people watching what you're doing here in Koh Samui, Thailand, and where you're from?
Okay, so my name is Serah. I'm from Lebanon, Beirut, and I'm actually here to do my 300 teacher training with Beyond Price. And today was my last day, actually. We just finished the training, very interesting, so many things that we learned.
So you've been here for a month, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a month.
And I've got to know Sarah a little bit in that time since we've been here. Would have liked to have got to know her more actually, but they're very, very busy on this course. It's like, what is it, up at 6:30 or something, and then
till like
finishing
7:30, 8 in
Yeah.
the evening.
Yeah, and they only get like one day off every 6, is it?
5
So
days.
5 days, yeah. So, yeah, I've done my best to try and get some people in for you. I would have liked to have got a lot more, if I'm honest, but it's been difficult sometimes getting hold of these trainees, because they really put them through the mill during this this course. It's been pretty tough, right?
That's what we're here for, actually, to be like pushed and like tested and put in situations where we can just like deal with them and then go back home and apply them in the real world.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's talk about your life.
Wow. 27 years. I'll just talk about
Maybe just the last couple of years.
the most recent things that have changed
Yeah.
who I am.
So stuff's been happening in Sarah's life, and as you probably are aware, my blog's about personal transformation and the law of attraction. The law of attraction is something that you're kind of new to and you're still learning about. So we'll come to that a little bit later, but I want to talk about your changes in your life that have been happening. Deep breath.
All right. Okay, so where do I start? Ooh. I'm just gonna take it back to 2 years ago, where I was working my 7th year in the fashion industry, and where I felt I had no purpose in life. I was like a buyer. I used to travel, buy expensive clothes to sell them to rich people, to make rich people richer. I felt like useless, and although I enjoyed all the traveling and the style and everything, but like deep inside I thought there was no purpose in my job. So I decided to leave my job not knowing what to do. Was planning on doing a fashion label, working with refugees, because we have a lot of refugees back in Lebanon, and just like making like a whole process. And I decided for 1 month to go do my yoga teacher training. I have been practicing yoga for 1 year before going to do my training, and it was just like a month off before coming back to work on the brands. And I did my training. I came back to Lebanon. I did the business plan for the brand. I talked to NGOs, and then I decided not to do it because I had learned so much in my training and wanted to share it with people. And I started sharing it, and a lot of people were like attracted to my energy, because when you come from the teacher training, like there's something that changes in you that attracts people, and you have people like, what have you been doing? You've changed so much. You look so radiant, and this energy attracts people to you. And like I've met a lot of amazing people this past year. And another thing that happened with my training, I was dating this guy for 7 years, and we had plans of like getting married and everything, and like we've got everything planned. And he came to visit me in my training, because I did 2 trainings in between. I had a week off, and I realized that this is not going to happen, because like while I was away, things happened back home with him and other people, and I just let go. And doing the training actually really helped me to like digest this idea and let go of like a relationship I had for 7 years, or else I would be devastated, I'm sure. Not that I wasn't, but like I dealt with it better than I expected myself to. And the journey back home, teaching yoga one step after the other, I then opened up my studio just before coming here. And it's been a huge challenge, and I felt like I had like dual personalities throughout this whole year, because I was like attached to who I was with that person, and then the new person I am after doing this training, and I couldn't wrap it around my head, like, who am I? Am I that person, or am I this person? Should I let go here? When? And I wasn't able to let go up until like 2 weeks before coming here, actually.
Right.
That I decided that I should do this. I let go, and it helped me a lot with just being here in this training, being present, not thinking too much of my past, of what could have been, of who I was. Like the identity crisis just like a little bit washed away. I'm not sure now when I'm back home, because it's easy to say when you're here in a safe space with like-minded people, and then you go back home and just face everything. But I think this time I'm going back home with like a clearer mind and knowing better who I was. I did a lot of self-study this time when I was here, so it helped out a lot.
Who was, excuse me, who was the old you then? How would you describe the old you compared to the new you?
Okay, so I'm a person who likes to plan her life, and I'm a planner, I'm a perfectionist, and I want things my way, and my way is the best way.
I was exactly the same, by the way, and I've had to learn to change that as well, but carry on.
And then I used to work a 9-to-5 job. I had this boyfriend that I was in love with. He was in love with me. We had the best time, and we were planning to get married. I was close to my family. We were traveling every year, like once or twice. And like I'm in a well-paid job. Everything was there, except like something in my heart was missing.
Yeah.
And the new me now, I'm better at like letting go and being alone. Before I was like, I have to have people surrounding me. Like if it's not my boyfriend, my friends, I like people. I still do, but I appreciate the time I have on my own now. And like I'm staying here for the next 5 days, and I have nothing planned yet, which is like not me at all, not the old me actually. And yeah, I'm more easy going, I would say, and more of an explorer in my mind, like want to experience new stuff, meet different people, and just be free-spirited. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd say, going back to what you were saying about how people have reacted to a different energy from you, I can feel that energy. It's like you were probably maybe the first person actually I talked to on the yoga teacher training course. There's a lot of them. There was like 67 of them.
Yeah.
It's a big course. And I think you were one of the first people I talked to, if not the first. And that's because I just sensed there was a welcoming energy there. And I was right. There's definitely something there that I think you're quite easygoing, and people are attracted to that, and I've noticed it. I sit back a bit. I'm not doing the course, of course. I'm just around doing my thing at the castle, but because I spend a lot of time there, I get to meet a lot of people there, particularly people on yoga teacher training courses. So, you know, I get to observe a lot, and yeah, you can kind of pick the people who are, I'd say, more aligned with what they're supposed to be doing, and they've got that energy about them. And Serah's definitely one of those people. So that's why I wanted to get her on to talk.
I actually saw you here like the first days I was here. I was all alone before the training, and I saw you like sitting there observing people and you and the other guys. I'm like, why are those guys always here? What are they doing? They're not part of this training, but what are they doing here in the casa?
Yeah, there's a couple of us, a couple of yoga teachers, and me. I'm doing my writing here, and a friend of mine who does videography, photography. So, in case you didn't...
now I know.
Yeah, it's not just yogis around here. There's a few other people around here as well, but it's mostly yogis and people on holiday. Okay, let's talk about the law of attraction.
All right.
Now this is something you've only just really been learning about, right?
Yeah, I've known it's around, but I've never was curious about it up until you talked to me about it, and then in the training they mentioned it a lot of times, and I just know what it's like vaguely about, but I haven't read or researched about it or anything.
Yeah. So what have you heard?
I heard that, which I believe is certainly true, that like whatever you think of, you want in your life, whatever you surround yourself with, is what you will manifest. So you can't like keep on telling yourself that you can't do this, this is not for you, although you want something else. Then if you're only thinking of the negative thoughts, this is what will actually manifest in your life. But if you just be positive or just think of what you wish for as a reality, this will soon happen in some way. You will find your way to get there.
Yeah, sure. That's it. That's a good explanation. Yeah. Is it something that you? I think. Well, it's happening anyway. The law of attraction is always happening anyway. So you can consciously decide to work with it, and that's going to be better for you. But it's going to happen anyway. Whatever you're thinking is going to manifest anyway. And I believe that what's happened in your life, the transformation that you've had, is purely because of the shifts in the thought processes that you've been having. So I imagine that when you realise you were unhappy in certain aspects, rather than staying in those thought processes, you decided at some point you decided to change and to be more positive and think about ways you could, what was going to make you happy, and start living from the heart. Am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what actually happened. Like I just one day woke up, this is not for me, quit my job on spot, booked my training all in the same day, and although the training was like 6 months ahead, but like I knew I'm doing the change. And actually coming back from my training, I started surrounding myself with people who like I look up to, or I want to be part of their community, and then I was part of it, and then more people were attracted to my teachings, and yeah, that's how I think the law of attraction also played in my routes.
Sure. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you very much for coming along. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for asking me to do this.
Yeah, it's been great getting to know you. I wish I could have got to know you a little bit better, but it's been
Maybe
fun anyway.